Would you mind helping me out?
Sure.
Yes. Give him a round of applause. And your name again?
Rick.
Rick, perfect. Yeah, you mind standing right over here? I'm actually going to kind of explain to you how this works before I actually do the trick, okay? You'll see why in just a second. But you're a magician, right? So
Yes.
You're familiar with playing cards. I don't know if you use bicycle cards. But this looks like a regular bicycle deck. Even as a magician, it looks pretty normal, right? But this is actually very sophisticated technology. This is the world's first computerized pack of playing cards. It's called the iDeck. There's little microchips built into the cardboard layers. I'll have these for sale in my trunk after the show. You're not buying this, are you, Rick? Okay. We're going to pretend that this is a computerized pack of playing cards, okay? So first things first, you get to choose any card that you like. And I think there might be jokers in this deck. So if you choose a joker, we'll switch it for a different card because I want you to have a regular playing card. And you can take any one that you like. It's up to you. And then show it around to everybody else and you remember it yourself. And let me know when it's safe to turn around.
Safe.
Perfect. Now, do you like technology? You can go ahead and put the card back. Do you like technology? Are you into Facebook or these live lectures is technology, right? So it's really cool, the kind of world we live in and all the things that technology does to make our life easier. But it has made other things like obsolete. So for example, when I was a kid, I would wake up specifically on Saturday mornings to watch Saturday morning cartoons. Now my kids, they have Netflix and Hulu. They just click a button and their shows come on instantly on demand right when they want. So it's great, but it's also a little sad that, the Saturday morning cartoon thing's over. So it's the same thing with this computerized deck of cards, Rick. I used to practice in my room for hours, shuffling the cards and cutting them in kind of all these weird ways, trying to find people's cards. Did I find it there just by chance? Here or here, is that? No, okay. So sleight of hand is difficult, right? So the deck makes things easier. So here's how the deck would work. If I wanted to find your card, all I have to do is push F1 for help. And that tells me that your card was the Queen of Diamonds. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, now it's got a lot of computer features. Okay, if I file your card away, and for some reason I need it back on top of the pack, all I have to do is push the page up key, and that tells me that your card was the Queen of Diamonds once again. And it's very user-friendly. You can work on this as well, so I'll put it in the middle. You push the page up key. You turn over the top card. Works every single time. It's cool, right? Now, what's great about this is I can no longer ever screw up a trick. So let's say, for example, I shuffled the cards wrong and I wasn't quite precise, and I accidentally found the 9 of clubs instead of your Queen of Diamonds. I paid a little extra for a USB port here in the front. And if I insert the card into the USB port, out comes a little keyboard, which I can use to reprogram that 9 into your Queen, just like that. Now, one thing you want to do, Rick, if you do decide to buy one of these, is never press the delete key. Because if you do that, the card will vanish on you, and they're quite expensive, so you don't want that to happen. Now, if you know anything about computers at all, you know that it's probably not really gone, right? You can probably recover it in some way. It might be in your recycle bin, that sort of a thing. So I'm going to go through and see if I can find your card again here. And then, was it the Queen of Hearts or the Queen of Diamonds? I forget. Queen of Diamonds. Okay, so we'll go through here, take out the Queen. It should be here somewhere. There's the Queen of Clubs. You know what, Rick? I think it's going to be faster if we just download a new copy of your Queen of Diamonds. Luckily, they have Wi-Fi, I think, in this room. So I'll just boot up the internet here and I'll go on a Google search for the Queen of Diamonds. And what do you know? 52 links pop up. Any one of these links could be the Queen of Diamonds. It's going to be up to you to take any card that you want, and we're going to hope that that link leads us right to the Queen of Diamonds. Take it out. We'll build suspense. Turn it over, I'm hoping. Show it to the camera. You must have clicked Wikipedia. It's not always accurate, but that's very close. It's very close. It's the right color, that's good. Okay, it's the right suit. We're actually really close. It's just that this J needs to change to a Q. In other words, we need to change the font here. So that's a J. This is like wingdings, okay? I'm gonna change it to Times New Roman. Watch the Jack. Just give it one little shake. There we go, the Queen of Diamonds. Now, the best thing about this deck is not its magic potential, but actually how you can use it to make money. So let's say you wanted to play cards again with this deck of cards. There's a copy and paste feature that comes in really handy for poker. Could you just push copy and paste like that? And if you did it just right, we should have a perfect copy and paste of all 4 queens. Give Rick a round of applause. Thanks so much for helping me out.
Yeah, that's right. Today we are learning a beautiful piece of magic. Welcome, my friends, to Saturday Sorcery. I'm of course Beau Creamer, and I hope you're having the best Saturday you've ever had. Now, before we get into today's very episode, I do want to tell you about this week's giveaway. If you want a chance to win the Card Legend bundle, all you need to do is stick around till later on in this episode, and I'll show you how to enter that very competition. Now, today's episode is brought to you by the legendary Caleb Wiles, and this is an excerpt from his very At the Table lecture. It's an absolutely phenomenal lecture, and if you want to see more on this incredible lecture, I'll have a link to it in the description below. Okay, I've been holding you back long enough, so let's jump over to Caleb right now, where he's going to teach you this beautiful piece of magic. Caleb, take it away.
That's a fantastic effect.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Well, so why the computer? Let's talk about that for a second.
So
that's a pretty cool storyline there.
We'll talk about the inspiration. So my friend Robbie Moreland, who is an excellent sleight of hand magician, he showed me the little part where I talk about the USB port and the card goes in, and that cool little move where it kind of shoots out a keyboard and you reprogram it and pop it off the top. So I thought that was so cool, and I thought, okay, how could I maybe expand this routine? Because he was just basically doing that part when he showed it to me. So then I just started playing around with friends and sharing ideas about, how could we tie this computerized deck and make it bigger and play bigger? And we just basically threw at the wall everything we could think of and how each key on the keyboard could be replicated with an effect in magic and that sort of a thing. So it was really just like a lot of brainstorming, a lot of sharing of ideas, and then trimming away the fat. My favorite thing about this routine, this is one of the tricks I do walk around a lot, or if I'm ever encountered with a deck of cards and somebody says, hey, show me a trick, this will be one of the tricks that is one of my go-to effects.
Well, I mean, you're taking the idea of an ambitious card and kind of like completely making it not an ambitious card.
Exactly,
and
right.
That's so cool because there's so many ambitious card routines out there.
For
this
sure.
is probably one of the most unique ones I've ever seen. So,
Yeah.
And another thing I noticed too, and I'm sure everybody at home as well as you guys, you don't use extremely difficult sleight of hand.
Correct.
You're not walking around clip shifting stuff and and doing all these crazy spin outs, but your magic still comes out to be astounding just because of the presentation. So let's teach them this. This is iDeck,
I think
right?
so, yeah.
iDeck?
Yeah.
iDeck? Yeah.
And again, I'm going to go through this one quickly because I think most magicians have their own ambitious card routine. So the presentation is really what I wanted to share with you here. So I'm going to run through the actual mechanics of it quickly.
Okay.
And then if you have questions, we'll give out email addresses and all that at the end. And if you need more detail, feel free to contact.
Right, and they're going to come in live as well, and they might have some questions here. So I'll step out of the way. Go ahead.
Sounds great.
And begin.
Yeah, so for this effect, again, one of the nice things too is I feel like this is an ambitious card routine that doesn't require the card to be signed. I will explain a variation here in just a bit where you can have the card signed. But practically speaking, if I'm doing a lot of walk around magic, it's nice to be able to keep this deck of cards and it doesn't get smaller and smaller and smaller as the cards are signed throughout the night. So it starts off with a free choice of a card. Doesn't matter what the card is. I should have took the jokers out. You don't want to choose a joker if you want to do the 4 of a kind, obviously, at the end. So any card is fine. And then as they're showing it around, I just get a break above 2 cards. So I'm turned around anyway, so I just riffle off 2 cards and keep a break. As I bring the cards back, I have them place the card onto the left hand's packet. And then as I add these together, basically I'm retaining that break. So when I double cut to the top, now I've added those 2 cards above their selection. And it's all motivated by the presentation. I talk about doing a fancy cut and sleight of hand, trying to find their card. I ask them if it's on the bottom. I ask them if it's on top. And I use this, again, just to motivate getting an easy break under the top card of the deck. When I bring these cards down, now I'm set for a triple lift. So I push the F1 key for help. That tells me your card was the 3 of hearts. Laymen at this point usually think the trick is done, but you can, of course, go on to do more and more phases. The performance I showed you here today, I showed you all of the phases of this routine. I don't normally go through all the phases. I kind of judge how the audience is reacting and what other material I want to show them. So sometimes I'll cut it off at a lot earlier in the routine. That's nice because it's modular. If you're a restaurant magician and food's coming or all the different things that happen when you're out there working for real people, you can end this effect at basically any spot and you'll be set to go. Okay, so I've got my triple lift here. So I turn the card face down. I mentioned there are other computer features. This is obviously in a different card. So it goes in the deck. I say if I want it back on top, again, I'm taking all of these presentational moments to make sure I can get my breaks easy and I don't have to fight for breaks. So again, I say if I want it back on top, and as I do that, I just push over just a bit and grab a break under the top card. Put this back on top. I talk about the page up key, and now I just do a double lift. So far, it's just standard ambitious card stuff. just kind of updated presentation. And then now I let them do it. And this is actually a really strong moment for them. For magicians, we've seen this stuff a lot. So we expect what's going to happen. But for them, when they push the card in themselves, they push the button themselves and they turn over the card themselves, it's a really strong moment. So again, you can end there or you can keep going. Though if you do decide to keep going, here's the way I do that. I turn this card face down. You could do like a second deal and put it back in the middle. I just at this point do a slip shuffle as if the trick is done, and I just retain this card, milk it off as I do the shuffle, so that their card basically stays on top. And I talk about even if I shuffle the cards wrong, it doesn't quite matter because I paid a little extra for this USB port in the front. So now I'm just going to do a double lift again.
What are you thinking, my friend? You enjoying today's episode so far? I bet you are. Me too, my friend. Me too. Now, before we get into the rest of the tutorial, we need to do a giveaway. But before we do today's giveaway, we need to find out who won last episode's bundle. So we need to do a little wibbly wibblies, wobbly wobblies. Come on! That's the legend right there. Congratulations, my friend. You're the winner of last episode's bundle. So if you could DM me on any of Murphy's socials, I'll get that prize straight out to you. Now on to this week's giveaway. If you want a chance to win the Card Legends bundle, all you need to do is comment in the comment section below what is your favorite card. Is it the 3 of diamonds, the 4 of clubs, the ace of spades? Whatever it is, let me know in the comment section below. Then on next episode's Saturday Sorcery, I'll draw a name out at random and you'll be announced on that episode. So my friend, good luck. Now champion, are you enjoying what you're watching right now? Because I have good news for you. In the Saturday Sorcery playlist, we have over 100 episodes, which means over 100 free tutorials. So make sure you go check out that playlist. There'll be a link in the description below. Go treat yourself to all that free magic because you deserve it.
I'm just going to do a double lift again. In this case, I show the Jack of Diamonds. I say if I push the Jack in the center, out comes a little keyboard, and it's just really cool. When you push this in, you have cards come out the back, and we're going to use that as the keyboard. And you just reprogram it, and when you push this forward, that's going to cause this card to shoot out the front. Just like that, and you just use your left thumb to kind of flip it face up on top of the pack. And again, you can stop right there if you'd like. If you decide to go a little further, the last bit is I do some sort of a vanish. I'll either do this vanish here, where the card vanishes, or I'll do the rub-a-dub vanish usually if I have a table available. And the rub-a-dub vanish, if you've never performed it from Expert Card Technique, basically you're just going to push this card over and then pull it back. That's the whole method. It's just a timing thing of when you put this hand on top. There's a couple of tips I have for it that are not original with me, but other magicians have shared with me. When you do the rub-a-dub vanish, I like to leave the fingers open a bit, and I like to leave this corner sticking out beyond my little finger. And it's weird, it's a little discrepant that it does that, but if it sticks out there, then when you push the card down, it gives like a retention of vision that it's still there, when of course it isn't. So that's the rub-a-dub vanish. I say don't press the delete key, whatever you do. And for that, I just hold the deck kind of like a remote, push the delete key, reveal that it's gone. Now, if people are following and they somehow intuit that, okay, the next most logical location is that the card is on top, just for those people who are watching and to stay casual, I just give the cards one more overhand shuffle, retaining their card on top. So if they thought that, now they think it's lost in the deck, okay? And I don't even give them that long to ponder where the card is, because I say it's not really gone, it's just somewhere in the deck. And now I'm going to go through the cards, and I'm going to call the mates to the 3 as I go along. So I say, okay, what was your card? Was it the 3 of diamonds or the 3 of hearts or whatever? And as I go through here, if I see a 3, I go, oh, there's the 3 of spades. And I call that underneath the spread. Okay, so it's writing underneath. And the way that works is quite simple. Basically, when you get to the 3, I hold the 3 in my left hand. And then as I bring these cards on top, my right fingers are going to grab the 3 and sneak them underneath as I continue spreading, kind of in this opening and closing action of the deck. When I get to the next 3, I'm going to do the same thing. So I'll say, there's the 3 of diamonds. I call that under the spread. And then it looks like we missed one of the 3s. Yeah, one right there in the beginning. So I'd call that under the spread as well. So you call all of the mates to the top of the pack. And then at this point, I say, it'd be easier if we just downloaded a new one. And now I do the joke about Wi-Fi, and I go on a Google search. And basically I have them select any link that comes up in this Google search. And as I do that, I spread over and I in-jog just a bit the 4th card from the top because that's their selection underneath all the 3s. So I in-jog that just a bit and continue spreading. Now they touch any card. I have them build up suspense, turn the card over. It's not the right selection. And as they're doing that, I just lift up on the in-jog and close up. That gives me a break under 4 cards. Now I talk about how we're going to change the font, and then I just go with it. So I say, oh, the 8 kind of looks like a 3. We need to change the color. I'll mention the different values and suits and that sort of thing. And then I just go into that twirl change that I taught earlier and re-swindled, and I say we're going to change the font. And now I just pick up this big block, and the block does not make it more difficult to do the twirl change. The action is just the same. So if you can do it with 2 cards, you can do it with 5 cards. And I just shake it, rotating that packet again around with my thumb and my ring finger, and drop those on top. And what's cool is now you've produced their card, but you're also again set up for the next part of the effect. So you've reproduced the card, and now all that's left to do is to build up the copy and paste, snap your fingers, and you have a perfect copy and paste of a nice poker hand, all 4 3s. There you go.
Now, you have an alternate handling with that, don't you? That with the Jay Sankey's.
Oh, I do. Let's talk about that
because that's a really cool addition.
Sure, and I think I can explain that even without going through the whole thing. So if you're familiar with Jay Sankey's Paperclipped, I think I have.
Is that a little tiny briefcase? Can you bring that in camera real fast?
Yeah, I'll explain that in a little bit.
Okay,
I'll explain that in a little bit. So this is Jay Sankey's Paperclipped. You're probably familiar with it. I won't go into all of the details of his routine, but if you're familiar with it, you can end the trick also in this way. So this is just a folded card, and I put a paperclip on it. And the presentation I do is, as I walk up to the group, I say, this is kind of a weird object. I took a card from a different deck, folded it up, put a paperclip on it so you can't see what it is. You've probably never seen something like this before. I'll explain what it means in a second. So I put this off to the side, and then I go through my whole routine, whatever effects I'm doing. And then when I get to the iDeck, I have the card signed. I don't go to the part where I produce the 4 of a kind. After the card vanishes, I say, don't worry, it's not really gone. And now I head into Paperclipped. So there's a Mercury card fold. So I've got a folded card of their selection right here. And I say, it's not really gone. I've just basically sent you a message. The card is traveling. Just like when you get an email, you know you have a new message, a new file, when you see that little paperclip. And at that point, everybody goes, oh yeah, I remember the paperclip. And now you just pick up the card, do the paperclip switch, and now you produce their signed card. So that's kind of the alternate ending that I use.
Which is brilliant as well.
Oh, look at these absolute champions. You guys are the best. It's true. I've Googled it. Oh, I need to take a break because that was phenomenal. I'm going to put my feet up and think about what I just learned. Did you enjoy today's episode, my friend? Please let me know in the comment section below. And if you want to see more of Caleb's work, make sure you go check out his At the Table lecture. Gold members, you can view it right now via the members only tab. Or if you're not a YouTube Gold member, that's totally fine as well, my friend. You can pick it up from your favorite magic shop for just $9.95. Now enough of me flapping these beautiful gums. I will let you get back to your Saturday. So go on, get out of here, my friend. Go enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll see you on our Discord right now, where we're having jams, trivia, games, hangouts, and even more. Where I'll see you on another YouTube-only piece of content. Now take care, my friend. See you later. Oh, bye for now. Whoa, hey, whoa, what's that? Oh, you should definitely check out that. Oh, there's so much good magic in there. You won't regret it. Hey, whoa, hey, look at this bad boy. You should definitely subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribe, then watch that. Oh, it's a good day to treat yourself.